A few short years ago, South Koreans were chanting "No Japan" and launching boycotts against their eastern neighbor. Now, the two countries' leaders are cracking bottles of soju and playing the drums together. So what changed? While Japan and South Korea don't have a great history, things are certainly looking good now. Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae just made the trip to South Korea to visit Andong, the hometown of President Lee Jae-myung, where he wined and dined her on local specialties, and the pair agreed to cooperate on energy supplies amid continued disruptions stemming from the war in the Middle East. The trip, a part of the two countries' continued shuttle diplomacy, where leaders meet frequently to promote dialogue and cooperation, also marked the fulfillment of a personal milestone of sorts for Takaichi and Lee. Back in January, the South Korean president visited Nara, the hometown of the Japanese prime minister, where the pair reaffirmed ties and played the drums together in a highly made-for-TV moment. The ties between the neighbors may currently be at their warmest and chummiest, but this level of friendship has been anything but inevitable, and stands in contrast to their long track record of butting heads in the post-World War II era. The tensions between the two countries stem from Japan's colonization of the Korean peninsula in the first half of the 20th century, a period marked by oppression and exploitation. While Japan relinquished all control of Korea after World War II and relations were normalized with Seoul in the 1960s, deep scars left by the colonial period have largely defined the relationship ever since. While the situation started to improve during the 90s and early 2000s, following the origins of shuttle diplomacy and apologies issued by the Japanese government, relations took a nosedive in the late 2000s and 2010s. Especially under former Prime Minister Abe Shinzo. While Abe didn't overtly change the government's posture towards its neighbor or revoke previous apologies and statements, he was something of a pariah in South Korea. Known as a nationalist figure with revisionist tendencies, Abe notably questioned widely accepted notions around Korean comfort women. His trade policies toward the country also sparked backlash and a mass boycott of Japanese products in 2019. While ties had finally started to get back on track in 2023 under former Prime Minister Kishida Fumio and grew even stronger under Ishiba Shigeru, Takaichi's election initially risked setting back the relationship once again. She maintains many of the same controversial views as Abe, her longtime ally and mentor, and also indicated before taking office that she would elevate the dispute over Takeshima, a South Korean-controlled island known as Dokdo in Korean that Japan has long claimed as its own. But evidenced by the drum playing and hometown visits, Takaichi's time at the helm has been anything but hostile towards Seoul. While many of the same controversies that dogged relations under Abe remain essentially unresolved, Takaichi and Lee have largely chosen to avoid them, emphasizing their personal ties and promoting areas of cooperation. On the surface, Tokyo and Seoul have a lot in common. As mostly liberal democracies, economic and cultural powerhouses, and close US allies. They even share many of the same challenges like aging populations, dependence on importing natural resources, and economic woes. While they may seem like a natural fit, different strategic aims under their current leaders could prevent them from turning their quasi-friendship into something more. Even if you set aside historical and territorial disputes, the two leaders have taken quite different approaches to foreign policy. While indisputably still within the US camp, Lee has sought balance with Beijing and Washington, maintained an open posture toward North Korea, and largely stayed out of the dispute over Taiwan. Takaichi, on the other hand, has torpedoed relations with China by suggesting Japan might intervene in a conflict over Taiwan, and has prioritized ties with the US over all else, cozying up to President Donald Trump perhaps more than any other leader in the world, lavishing him with gifts, praises, and hugs. But regardless of what might divide them, the potential for cooperation remains extensive. And while drum beats don't guarantee a bright future is around the corner, they might hint that it's a strong possibility. In an increasingly tense and fractured world, Japan and South Korea might find that a friend is better than a frenemy.
Yeah.